Hi guys, this video is going to be for my sun, moon, rising Sagittariuses for what you guys can expect in the month of September. We're going to be going over the astrology transits. What you guys are currently looking at is the energy you can expect to be feeling walking into the month of September. So I'm going to update the transits as we get to it, and we're going to try to figure out what it is you guys could potentially be manifesting this month, be feeling or going through. So it's going to be your internal and external world. Okay. So September 1st, Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus in your 6th house. What do I think this means? So I like when Uranus goes retrograde. I like this because it reminds me of Four of Swords in tarot. It's a going within energy. When there is a disruption, whether it's good or bad, the universe is asking you not to be so reactive, not to be so responsive, but to be, to really balance out your energy and to go within. I really believe truly in my heart of hearts, that's what this is asking you. So when something unexpectedly happens in the place of work for you, and let's say it interferes with your finances, your money, instead of acting impulsively, it's like you're being asked to free yourself in a sense. Because I feel like with Taurus energy, wherever this is in our chart, this is speaking of what we believe we are owed, or what we own, either literally or it's more of a feeling. Like, for example, and I guess this is a bad example, but I'm going to use it regardless. My mom, she's a Taurus. She literally, and she's not consciously aware of it, but she really feels like I am hers, you know? And I feel that more on a deeper level because my parents are divorced. Like, she really feels like she owns me in a sense. And that doesn't mean that she is trying to control me or anything like that. It just really, she looks at me and she feels like that's mine. So usually we have this tendency wherever Taurus is in our chart to feel like this is ours, or like we deserve this, whether it's good or bad. So because it's in your 6th house, I do feel like you guys would have, you guys would potentially experience this with there being a disruption to something you feel that is yours. And it may not literally be yours. So since it's the 6th house, I think of work, being a worker. If you feel like your schedule, you deserve, I don't know, an hour lunch break, but legally they can give you 30 minutes and this is what they change it to. I don't know, guys. I don't even know if that's really the law. I know there's something to that, but I'm just trying to give you a rough idea here. So if there is an unexpected change to your schedule at work, you may really feel bothered by this. And this really may bother you guys mentally. Like you may have mental exhaustion with this because technically Virgo rules the 6th house. So it's a Mercury house. So usually when we have things going on in the 6th house, this is kind of why it's looked at as like a house of doom and gloom, because your mind is thinking of almost everything and everything that's wrong. So in a sense, by law of attraction, it's like you can attract this into your life. And I just think any energy that's ruled by Mercury, there's anxiety there because of their thoughts. So I do believe that there will also potentially be a disruption for some of you with your routines. And this would be connected to work. Or maybe it's like because something happens with your money, you guys have to take a different route to work, like different transportation. Maybe you can't afford the bus rides anymore and now you got a carpool with somebody. I don't know, but I'm just saying, so it's like that would affect your routine, your daily routine schedule, because maybe now you've got to get up an hour earlier. There can also be some type of spiritual crisis, I feel like, as well, because I look at the 6th house as the house of healing. So if Uranus is about your genius energy, right? What makes you different, eccentric, but also it's intuition. It's literally getting divine intuitive nudges from spirit. It's why you think of what is it? The star card in tarot. The girl is literally getting messages from the stars, or at least that's how I interpret it. So yeah, and where do you guys have Aquarius? Excuse me, in your 3rd house. Okay, so yeah, I do. I think there would be some type of either misunderstanding, or if it's not a misunderstanding, just some type of disruption when it comes to authority figures and some type of conversation, and it disrupts either your daily flow, like your everyday regimen. Something, I would be shocked if you guys said it, like something like that didn't, but it's like the test from spirit, universe, source, whatever it is you want to believe in, is to not let it affect you to that point, to balance out your energy and your emotions, and really just connect with spirit. Okay, so just remember, like, things are not happening to you, they're happening for you. I feel like that would be the tagline here. And I do feel like, you know, Captain Obvious, it is going to connect more so with work. Why? Because you guys have Capricorn in your 2nd house. This literally talks about your 10th house energy. And you guys have Taurus, which traditionally belongs in that 2nd house, in your 6th house. So that's just how I connect with astrology, and I don't see it really ever coming back wrong. So again, since Taurus originally rules the 2nd house, and you guys have this in Capricorn, this speaks of your career, your status. I do see a disruption with money, and that either affecting your confidence with money, or your how you're perceived, how you're seen. Yes, since Virgo traditionally rules that 6th house and you guys have it in your 10th house, the sun is here. Something's definitely being highlighted when it comes to your career. If it's not your career, it's then connected with how you are seen to other people. And this is something you guys care about and value because you have Capricorn in your 2nd house. It may be more of an internal thing for yourself. Like, you want to prove this to yourself. You want to accomplish this for yourself. The reason I'm saying that is because Saturn is in your 4th house and it's in retrograde. So there's a redo, there's a rethinking when it comes to, I want to say the work that's involved in order to manifest something for yourselves. And it's going to connect more with a dream at home. So this is either, how you guys are perceived in your private life at home, or it is, I want to say, you guys accomplishing your own dream that you want to make a reality. Did I say that already? I feel like I said that. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, we'll leave that there. Pluto enters Capricorn again, and it's in retrograde. So it's leaving your 3rd house and it's entering your, yeah, this is definitely going to be about work for you guys, for sure. Your power. Yes. Okay. So Pluto going in your 2nd house. So Pluto kills things and rebuilds them. I feel like that's what it is. It's a death rebirth. I hate using the line death rebirth. I just feel like it's so overplayed, but it is what it is. It is literally a death. So something ends in order for something new to begin. What have you guys been trying to accomplish since 2008? What did you not succeed in, and what did you succeed in? The reason I ask you that is because I think that can help you figure out what Pluto is trying to finish here, because Pluto's trying to finish, quote unquote, the job. So on a soul level, on a spiritual level, you've asked to experience these things, these transits, these, things that are going on in the cosmos in order to shift your energy, in order to learn something new for your soul, right? So Pluto, in my opinion, connects back to heavy past life karma, as does Saturn. So this would definitely be past life related, and it would have something to do with, again, what it is you guys value when it comes to what it is you do for a living, what it is you value within, like, what is status to you and why. There's something here you're supposed to go deeper with in order to change this, in order to manifest this. So we're Scorpio. It's in your 12th house. Excuse me. So a lot of you, this is going to be more so the mental plane. transforming the mind when it comes to what it is you guys value, or transforming your mind in order to accomplish something you want to achieve. That's also what I want to say. Let's see, anything else? I'm definitely missing something here. Hold on one second. Pluto, hold on one second. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there, and if it comes to me, then I'll bring it back up. All right, so September 2nd, and I may be off by a day or two, so definitely double check this on your end for sure. There's a new moon in Virgo. So there's, yes, 1000%. There's something going on with your career or your status. So there's a new moon in your, sorry for the background noise. I'm sorry for the background noise. So there's a new moon in the 10th house in Virgo. And so something new is going to happen, right? Duh. There's going to be a shift in energy when it comes to new things. It's either going to literally be external or internal. Because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo and this is in your 9th house, I do believe for you guys it's going to be more of a belief system that would be new. There would be something new with either your confidence, gaining confidence. I say that because the sun rules Leo, and I think of a confident energy. I think of somebody who wants to be seen for the things they've done, for the things they're good at. So something like that is definitely transpiring with this new moon. So either you are going to be seen for something you thought of or communicated, or it's something you're thinking of, like you're creating some type of plan. And again, because Virgo traditionally rules that 6th house, and there's something going on here because there's a retrograde with Uranus in your 6th house. I do believe it's either like thinking about, you're either traveling for work because Mercury, traveling in the 9th house, or you're traveling like, you could be traveling for sales, like selling things. That's also something I think of. Or this could literally be the new idea. And then you start getting yourself ready. Like you start creating a more detailed plan and then you put this into action. That's also something I think of here. What else could be new? I already said it, new idea. Something new happening when it comes to work. What else? I just see, since the sun rules the 5th house traditionally, and you guys have Aries here, Aries is leadership energy. This is boss energy. It's entrepreneur energy. And you have the North Node going on here. So you guys are either trying to change something about your status, or something is changing about your status, how you're seen as a parent. That's also something that could be happening. You guys could potentially be trying to have children, or you're just trying to do whatever it is the fuck you want to do, because that's what Aries in the 5th house talks about. So with Chiron being here and this being in retrograde, there's some type of wound going on. So it's either a wound, some type of issue with having children, or maybe there's an issue because of children, or it's an issue within yourself from childhood, from growing up. And there's some type of issue with like self-expression, I want to say, or being seen, putting yourself out there. Let's see. So Mars is the ruler of Aries and it's in your 7th house. So for some of you, I feel like this would be connecting to, if not romantic relationships, then just committed relationships. This could again be talking about you meeting the right people at the right time. And this could be for work. This could be for your career, something you're building. When Jupiter's here, when Jupiter's in the 7th house, not only is it talking about like attracting this partner into your life, like a serious committed relationship, but it's also talking about expanding your mind when it comes to the 7th house, but also literally meeting new people, or not necessarily new people, but you're meeting people that can help you, that can, you know, quote unquote, give you blessings, give you luck. And I feel like because it's in Gemini, these would, if these aren't people that are like your friends that you already know, and now you're doing business with, then I'm going to say these people feel like friends. These people are easy to talk to because it's a mutable sign, just like you guys. So yeah, let's leave that there. Then Mars in Gemini in your 7th house is squaring Neptune in retrograde in Pisces in your 4th house. So to me, I love when Mars and Neptune are talking to each other in a positive way. Why? Because you feel motivated. You feel motivated to take action. You all of a sudden feel brave. You're not procrastinating. You're not holding yourself back. You feel like you are either being intuitively guided to go to the places or connect to the people you're connected to, or you just believe in the dream that you have, or you believe in something bigger than yourself, is what I want to say, since Jupiter is the original ruler of Pisces and you guys have Neptune currently in Pisces. So when it's squaring, there is a block and there's friction, there's a holdup, more time is required. So I think that if something isn't externally blocking you or stopping you from something you had intended on doing or wanted to do, then I think it's more of an internal battle. It can be mental conflict within the self, since Mercury rules Gemini and now we have Mars here. It's fast energy, okay? Mars is fast in general, and then when it's in Gemini, it's even faster. So it's squaring Neptune. Neptune being in a retrograde in Pisces is literally not only like believing in your intuition, but really like your intuition is talking to you and you know what's going on and you don't need the proof. And obviously it depends what's going on in your chart in order to really, you know, I guess, trust your intuition is what I want to say. But I'm telling you guys right now, when Neptune's in retrograde, especially the fact it's in 29 degrees, spirit or, you know, source, whatever, spirit is talking to you guys and is like pushing you guys to do something. And I feel like it has a lot to do with the fact that Saturn is in Pisces as well, because when Saturn's in Pisces, there is this call to physically manifest whatever it is you're dreaming about and making it a reality. So unfortunately, I feel like around this transit, you're going to either feel mental conflict, like maybe the dream cannot be accomplished, or maybe literally something happens and it gets quote unquote disrupted. And this is when you go within. And Taurus is also a fixed sign, so it's stubborn. So it's like you guys are not going to like when things don't go as planned when it comes to 6th house topics, okay? So yeah, I do think that the 7th house squaring the 4th house, this can also be friction at home. There could be like an argument due to some type of illusion. You may misunderstand something or think your intuition's talking to you, and it's like you overthink it, and it's not your intuition. It's like you're ignoring really what Neptune is trying to tell you because maybe it's something you don't want to hear or something you don't like. So let's see, let's double check something. So Mars rules Aries, this is your 5th house. Neptune rules Pisces, this is your 4th house. So for some of you guys, I really think this is going to be holding yourselves back due to what other people think. That's what I think. Because, again, Mars rules your 5th house. And you guys have the North Node here. So something fated is going on when it comes to this topic. It's either you standing out, you going after your dreams, you expressing something that may be creative, or it could be, you know, the child, something of that nature. But when it comes to feeling brave about taking action with these topics or doing what it is you want, it's like you're going to be blocked when it comes to this. And it's either due to illusions you're making up in your head, kind of, I don't want to say paranoia, but you could be making up illusions that aren't real. And that would be the mental conflict. And I feel like it's connecting to either romance for you guys or standing out in some type of way. Again, there's something here with Chiron, some type of wound that happened that has to do with your confidence, but it stems from childhood. And you guys have the 4th house in Pisces, and Saturn's here. So yeah, you guys are definitely dealing with something karmically when it comes to family right now in the home. And another way to look at this is it could be affecting your 5th house activities. So having fun, you may not be having fun, but you may be trying to have fun. I think that's another way of looking at this too. I see also issues with being the individual versus like thinking for the group. You guys are known for being Libra in the 11th house. So pleasing your group of friends, compromising, coming together. And right now the universe is asking you not to be that so much, but more so, what do you want? What do you want to do? Okay, September 4th, Mars is leaving your 7th house and entering your 8th house. Ooh. It's entering your 8th house in Cancer. You guys are going to have a bumpy time. So, I mean, so when Mars is in the 8th house in general, you have a tendency to attract, I don't want to say dangerous people, but people that are willing to take it to the next level when it comes to obsessions, passions, anger. Like, it's all based on feelings. That's what I think with the water signs. Scorpio traditionally rules that 8th house, and it is an extremely deeply emotional house. And it's a deeply emotional energy wherever Scorpio is. So with that being said, Mars, yes, this can be talking about action. I think of the green light. I think of go. I think of bravery. I think of confidence. So yeah, you guys, like the positive side to this, you guys may be more open about your emotions at this time, because emotions, I feel like, is something you guys don't do in general. Like, yeah, you guys are, I'm just going to say it, you guys are privately deeply emotional. I mean, you have your water placements in the 12th house, a hidden house, the 4th house, Pisces, and the 8th house, Cancer. And I feel like anytime I talk to a Sagittarius about my feelings, they almost feel uncomfortable, or like it's a timed conversation. It's got to be like Jupiter must come into play to save the day, to keep it going, you know, like that's the energy I feel like. Because anytime I feel like if I sound like a victim, it's like Sagittarius just can't stand that shit. They're just like, okay, because it's too negative. It's like they can be open-minded in the very beginning and understanding the conversation, everything you are maybe just venting about or reflecting about. But then there's this thing I feel like you guys do where it's like, okay, we got to keep it moving. Like, yes, that's great. I mean, yes, that's sad and stuff, but okay, like life is not so bad. Like, let's keep, you know? So I feel like the 8th house is sensitive to you guys because it's in Cancer energy. It is literally a sensitive emotional energy. And I think it makes you guys feel uncomfortable. And again, it does depend on what's going on in your personal natal chart. But with Mars being in Cancer in general, this is crybaby energy. And now it's going not only in a water sign, but it's going in an 8th house, which is traditionally a water house to Scorpio. It can be extremely, it can hold on to things, okay? Since Mars is the original ruler of Scorpio, I think you guys may potentially, number one, mental conflict, because you guys have Scorpio in your 12th house. And then Pluto went back into your 2nd house. So I think there may be mental conflict about your money, and also the things you guys actually value. I think of two polar opposite energies with Capricorn and Cancer. And I think it's even harder for you guys to like embrace your emotions, because you literally value like, get your shit together and let's keep it moving, you know? And I get that, and we need that in life. I think this is why we do feel that energy, and we're always motivated by others to, okay, come on, keep it moving, stay positive, because Jupiter, I think, is like the 2nd biggest planet in our solar system. So of course we feel that, and we feel that intuitive nudge that staying optimistic is fucking vital as hell. So yeah, but you guys will be having some conflict with this. I think you guys may be more resentful during this time. You guys may experience more anger. Also, the positive thing is maybe more sex. That's also a good thing. This is a sex magnet, I feel like, when Mars is in the 8th house. So yeah, that's something positive. But honestly, I feel like it would be karmic, or something would be going on, because Cancer traditionally rules that 4th house. So when I think of Mars in the 4th house, I think of conflicts at home. And when I think of Cancer energy in general, I think of energy that just won't let it go. Like, it just won't let it go. And because Mars rules Aries, I do feel like this would connect to like mental conflict that stems from your emotions being in balance when it comes to the thought of standing out or doing something you want to do, and other people may not agree. Okay, with the South Node being in Libra in your 11th house, you guys may want to please others, or please like your group of people, but Spirit's asking you not to at this time when you have the North Node in the 5th house. So I think there's some type of wound here as well, with either trying to stand out or like feeling like you need to stand out. And, you know, it may make you uncomfortable. So I also see Mars in Cancer in your 8th house as fighting with either the mother, or fighting with females, or fighting with men that are emotional, deeply sensitive. That's what I think of too. And again, because Mars is the original ruler of Scorpio, and you guys have Scorpio in your 12th house, I do think mental conflict would happen much easier for you guys based off of your feelings, based off of your emotions. Another unfortunate thing about Mars in the 8th house is it attracts people that want to either like fight with you or have an issue with you, or they're competitive with you. And this would be happening behind your back. And honestly, it could be people from home, or just people that feel like family, or people you share a bank account with, or people you do some type of business with where you're gaining money. So yeah. September 6th, Mercury and Leo in your 9th house will be squaring Uranus in retrograde in your 6th house in Taurus. So when Mercury is squaring Uranus, I think of a few different things. First one is potential issues with traveling. I do. And I feel like for you guys, this would maybe be connected to getting to work. Traveling for work, or traveling for work and it gets switched up, a change. There's just some type of, I want to say, change to your schedule as well. I also think conflicts may happen, like verbal fighting, because something is misunderstood. I think of a square as so much friction, either internally or externally, and it's because something didn't go as planned, or something didn't come out the way you intended it to. I think of like a dog being home all day, and they're fucking nuts once they get to go outside. Like, they're so excited, they have so much energy. That I look at as the same type of energy you experience with a square, where it's like you feel stuck, trapped, held up, and it's like the second the energy can come out, it doesn't come out clearly. It comes out like dispersed. Like, so I think intuition, like intuitive hits from spirit, will be harder to reach during this time. Like, you will not be able to either get messages from spirit, or you'll have difficulty understanding it, and you may filter your intuitive messages through your ego. Okay, I think of that because it's Leo energy. So yeah, anything else on that? Yeah, since Uranus rules Aquarius, and this is your 3rd house of communication, your thoughts, and Mercury traditionally rules that 3rd house, 1000%, I think you would be arguing with people at work or your friends. I do see that, like groups of people, or fighting on the internet. Maybe fighting with people who live far away. I think of that as well with the ninth house. I think of the ninth house as like an hour and a half away from home. Okay, September 7th, Sun in Virgo in your 10th house is in opposition to Saturn in retrograde in Pisces in your 4th house. So oppositions work well when they come together. So how do you come together? You have to compromise. I think when the Sun is in Virgo, all of us, the collective, will be more critical. We will be able to see people's flaws, like the things that need to be fixed, and we'll be able to see this shit clearly. I think you guys will be seeing it more so in the 10th house, or what it is you want to change about yourself and how you're seen. I do think because the Sun is in your 10th house, you will be seen. But I think you guys would be receiving criticism or something like that. Something that would hurt maybe your pride. That's how I see it as well. Because Mercury rules Virgo and it's in the 9th house. So it's like people may be trying to help you out during this time and expand your mind through knowledge, information. But you may see it as criticism. And it may be criticism, but I think it just depends on how people go about communicating the criticism, because we all need it, right? I mean, how else do we do better? I don't think we should just be our own, not our own judge, but like, it's important to hear what other people have to say. Just understand where it's coming from. That's all. So, sorry. So I think of Saturn as the father, and I think of the Sun also as the father, but it can also be seen as the child. So you may have to give up on something that may be you trying to get something just right or just perfect, and compromise a bit in order to get something you truly want. And I think this would honestly, I feel like this is more of like, the example I want to give is if you have a job where you work from home, but now they call you up and they say, okay, you got to start coming in twice a week. You may think, no, I don't. Mercury and Leo, like that's not what you want to do. And you're worth more than that. You're worth staying home. You don't need to check in. You don't need to go into the office. Just an example, but it's like reality check, I feel like, because you're seeing something that isn't 100% right. And maybe it is your job. Maybe it is something you want to change, and you want to get something new because the new moon will be in Virgo. So something will be happening here. But in order to do that, you have to put in work in order to make it a reality. Or if you realize you do have a good job and now they're asking you to come in because now it's like a new policy, a new protocol, you know, like, okay, in order for me to keep this great job, I have to compromise even though I don't believe I should be. It could be something like that as well. You could be seeing something about your money regarding, or how you appear. Do you appear, you know, like you have status, or because I think of the fact that Capricorn traditionally rules that 10th house, and you guys have the Sun here right now in the 10th house. So I feel like this is like getting your act together with something you're seeing that needs to be fixed and putting action towards it. And that opposition may feel like inner conflict. September 8th, Pallas Athena enters Sagittarius. Okay, so Pallas Athena is leaving your 12th house, okay? And now it's entering your 1st house. Pallas Athena is an asteroid that talks about a strategy. It's talking about thinking of something in order to get what it is you want. So it's in your 1st house and it's in Sagittarius. It's, for some of you, this is going to be a strategy about working on your body. It could be something spiritual because you guys have Mercury in Leo in your 9th house right now. And then you have Jupiter in Gemini in your 7th. So I think about learning something new, something that's expanding your mind at this time. And it could connect to a topic that would make you feel more confident. So whether it's actual information you're learning right now, or you went back to school and you feel really good, this can also be learning about, I'm just going to say it, things that make you look good. Okay. And I think because I'm just getting fire energy here. And because this is connecting to your 9th and your 7th house, the 9th because it's traditionally where you guys belong, and you guys have your mind, your thoughts, conversations either about yourself or how you stand out, or maybe creative things you want to do, or creative, like maybe different experiences, but you would be seen for this. So if like you're traveling, it would be like, I don't know, I feel like a cool place, to be honest with you. But with Jupiter and Gemini, you are literally learning random things about relationships and partnerships. I think this could definitely have something to do with wanting to I want to say stand out and look, I don't know why I'm getting this, but I feel like Leo, when I think of like a rising Leo or a Leo in general, they always look good. They are stylish. They look well like they present themselves well. Like I would never worry about a Leo and are they going to look like a mess? Like absolutely not. And I don't know why, but I'm getting this for you guys. Once Pallas Athena enters your 1st house, I'm getting something about your looks. For those of you where it doesn't manifest that way, then I'm thinking this has to do with you trying to gain freedom in relationships or from relationships, because Jupiter, your ruler, talks about being freedom oriented. And there's something extremely important that goes on for you guys when it comes to not feeling restricted at all. And because you guys are attracting the right people right now, because it's in your 7th house and it's in Gemini, I'm going to say that because this can attract romantic partners or just other type of partners that involve some type of commitment, you guys either want to free yourselves from this, or I feel like, hold on one second. If not free yourself, like, or learn how to balance it where you can still be in committed things, but where you also have your freedom. Does that make sense? Because I feel like that's the main goal for you guys. And I think it's also what holds you back from commitment. I think it's also why you guys are known for being flaky, if I'm being honest with you guys. And I'm not saying I don't get it, but I think that's what Jupiter is teaching you at this time while it's transiting in your 7th house, that you can have these type of relationships that you guys are seeking. And it's also through learning from others. Excuse me, sorry. Mercury's leaving Leo in your 9th house and it's entering your 10th house in Virgo. Again, I always connect Mercury with Pallas Athena. And the reason for this is because whatever you're thinking, whatever your thoughts are about, it's going to be connecting to a strategy, is it not? Like, where else would the strategy come from? It's got to be whatever is on your mind. So again, for some of you, this is going to be talking about 10th house energy, how you appear, and caring very much about cleaning this up, if you will. And I think for some of you, this is also going to be talking about traveling for work. Definitely. What else? Where's Gemini? Your 7th house. Yes. How do you guys appear based off of the relationships or connections you guys have? What else? I think there's also just going to be talking. I think you guys are going to be standing out at work for something, whatever it is you guys do. I think you're going to be seen. I feel like you guys are going to be talking a lot more at the workplace once Mercury enters Virgo. I already said traveling. You guys also may be learning something new at work. Yeah, that definitely makes sense with Jupiter and Gemini in the 7th. Okay, September 11th, Mercury in Virgo in your 10th house is sextiling Mars in Cancer in your 8th house. So I like this energy because with a sextile, this requires you to do something in order to get what it is you more than likely wanted. But it does require doing something. Otherwise, it's just an energy that sits there. But more than likely, you're going to get what it is you wanted. So therefore, a sextile can be looked at as a blessing. I know trines are blessings too, but a sextile can be looked at as a blessing as well. So when Mercury is sextiling Mars, this is your 10th and your 8th house connecting in a good way. It's either you guys being motivated and acting on based off confidence that you're feeling that day, your emotions, Cancer, feeling. And then Mars is action, bravery, confidence, go, go, go. So I think because Mercury is your thoughts and conversating, I do think you guys will be fixing the things that you feel need to be fixed, Virgo, or just taking action on something when it comes to either your career or how you're seen. I think this can also be looked at as open conversations that maybe end in agree to disagree. And the reason for this is because Mars in Cancer, you would be opening up Mercury about your emotions, and it could be some type of inner turmoil, something that you wouldn't normally share because this is 8th house, this is your privacy. But I feel like you would be conversating about it this day. What else? For some of you, this will be opening up about you guys could be sharing something publicly on the internet about a relationship you're in. I think that's definitely possible for some of you because Mercury rules Gemini, and that's your 7th house, and Mars rules your 5th house. I think you guys, if not like expressing or sharing your emotional feelings for somebody you're romantically linked with, then I think you may be doing this publicly on the internet when it comes to something you want to be seen for, something you want to stand out for, North Node in Aries. Especially with that sun in the in your 10th house. So I feel like maybe you'll post something work related, something you want to be acknowledged for. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to leave that. I really don't see this as fighting. If it is fighting, it's more of like being able to be mutable about it. That's what I'm going to say. I feel like it would end on a mutable, in a mutable way where like I said before, agreeing to disagree. September 12th, Sun in Virgo in your 10th house is squaring Jupiter and Gemini in your 7th. So it's either going to affect you one of two ways. Either you're going to be too cocky, too confident and expressing this, and people are going to low-key hate you, or it's going to be the opposite. You won't feel confident. You won't feel happy that day. The reason I say this is because Jupiter, your ruling planet, is squaring the sun. When I think of the sun and when I think of Jupiter, this is happy-go-lucky energies. And they're not getting along on this day. They're having difficulty. And I feel like with Jupiter, your ruling planet, whatever it touches, it expands upon. I feel like when you guys are told not to do something, you're going to do it. And honestly, it's pretty much all fire signs. But my point is with Jupiter being blocked or squared, it's like it's going to try to break through the barrier and not have any boundaries. I feel like it's very similar to a Jupiter-Saturn square, where it's either you literally like do not listen to the rules and you cross all the lines, or you're like being too, like you're holding yourself back too much and you're not able to have joy. and you lack in confidence. Like there's something like that that goes on, I feel like, with the Jupiter square transit. So I think you guys will either be feeling down on that day or super confident. I really do think it could be either one. And this is going to be connecting with, again, there's this theme going on for you guys, how you're seen, how people view you, which is funny actually, because I feel like you guys do care, but you don't care. You care because Capricorn in the second house, but at the same time, I really do believe you guys don't care. It's what you guys care about. But I do think that's what you guys will be feeling, because the square is a conflict, whether it's inner conflict or external, you're going to be feeling it regardless. So you guys may have difficulty feeling good on this day because maybe you're not where you thought you'd be at when it comes to your career. Or maybe you don't believe you're being seen in the way that you want to be seen. So yeah, there's that too. Or you could be feeling really, really confident, really good, either in your relationship or the relationships you have. But it would be stemming from work, whatever it is you're doing. So, yeah. Excuse me. I also look at this because Jupiter's in the 7th house with Sun squaring Jupiter. This could be like talking a lot about what it is you do at work with the Sun being in Virgo, like expressing all these things you're seen for. But maybe you're going above and beyond. Like, really, maybe you're gaslighting it. Like, that's another way of looking at that, too, I feel like. And where's Leo? Hold on one second. Where's Leo? Oh, it's your 9th house, right? Yeah, or, like, let's say you guys are happy and excited that you're going on a trip with either somebody you're dating, like, in a serious relationship with, or you're traveling for work. I feel like you guys would be, like, going above and beyond, talking about how great, you know, this trip is going to be. I'm just trying to give you random examples. Okay, so September 14th, Venus in Libra in your 11th house is trining Jupiter in Gemini in your 7th. I really like this energy. When Venus is trining Jupiter, because a trine is a blessing, it's either something being given to you or it comes so naturally to you, you don't even notice it. So it's, if something doesn't manifest for you guys or externalize, like in your external world, then I really feel like you're just gonna be feeling good. You're gonna be feeling happy and at peace. Truly, that's what I believe. It may be affecting you when it comes to either the internet or your relationship with your friends, or your friend that maybe you guys are dating, or somebody that feels like a friend to you. That's also what I think of when Jupiter's in Gemini in the 7th house. It's like you're committed to a friend. Yeah, I like it so much. Like if you're somebody who's always worrying or anxiety, or you've been stressed out lately, like this type of transit will feel good internally. Yes, because Venus rules your 6th house in Taurus. This is like, how do you take care of yourself? How do you take care of your body? And I feel like it's also the house of healing. So, I like that. I like that a lot. Excuse me. What else? Okay, so that's that. September 17th, you guys have a full moon, lunar eclipse in Pisces. Okay, so with full moons, I do not believe that everything is illuminated. I just don't. Because when you look at a full moon, you're not really looking at the moon, right? You're looking at the light, the sun's reflection. The light from the sun's reflection, whatever. Anyway, so I think there's something to be said about that. I think it depends what's going on in your personal natal chart. If full moons really affect you to the point where you are seeing something, or you see something that needs to change, or leave your life, quote unquote. And then I know there's other people where it's just like, sometimes it affects them, sometimes it doesn't. But because this is a lunar eclipse, I do feel like you guys will be seeing something. I do feel like something would be changing. Lunar eclipses in general, they're powerful. But a lunar eclipse is talking about a change. So there will be a change when it comes to your 4th house. You'll be seeing something that either needs to change, or something you now realize has to happen or cannot happen. And you're going to have to act on that because Saturn's in your 4th house. It requires work. That's why there's a retrograde going on with Saturn. There is a redo here. So yes, something 4th house. So either your home, living quarters, your relationship with the family, with the mother, something of that nature will be happening. I feel like for you, there will be some type of change. Yeah, so I'll leave that there. September 18th, Mercury in Virgo in your 10th house is in opposition to Saturn in retrograde in Pisces in your 5th house. So anytime Mercury and Saturn are talking to each other and not in the best way, I feel like it's having difficulty getting somewhere on time, being slow to react, having delayed reactions, like not understanding something fully right away. It's like it needs to be reiterated to you in a different way, or just again and again until you get it. So with oppositions, there is like an internal conflict between what you want to do and what you should do. There is a compromise, because that's how oppositions work best, is when you come together with the two polar energies. So I think with Mercury and Virgo, you guys may want to, again, fix things, work on things that you believe need fixing. And you may be right. But you're being asked from Spirit at this time to be a little more open, be a little more like going with the flow, and understanding that in order to obtain something you're working at or something you want, you're going to have to let some of these things go, because it can't be perfect. If you want it that bad, then you've got to be willing to let something go. So if, let's say, your relationship is being affected because you're constantly working, then you're being asked to compromise when it comes to how many hours you're putting in at work in order to make life at home more stable. Or if you don't like to work, you may be asked at this time to, in order to get what it is you want, you're going to have to put in more work. You're going to have to do something. I could tell you right now, like I've already been saying, work will be required with whatever it is you guys are trying to make happen with this 4th house. There's something going on here. It may be your relationship that you have going on at home. If you guys are living with anybody, I feel like that could be affected as well, because Mercury rules Gemini. This is your 7th house. So, yeah, I also think, it's not necessarily a fight that could happen at home, but more just like having a serious conversation. And again, in order to create harmony or to see the bigger picture, you gotta give something up. You gotta just let it go. Okay. Shit. September 19th, Sun in Virgo in your 10th house is trining Uranus in retrograde in Taurus in your 7th house. So whatever it is you realize with that opposition, whatever it is you have to give up, I think like the following day or around this time frame, you're going to be able to intuitively understand why this was like the best decision. because I feel like when the sun and Uranus are talking to each other in a positive way, you're able to get clear insight from spirit, source, universe. There is something intuitively happening that you are in touch with and you're seeing and you feel good about. You feel confident about this, and it's coming naturally to you. So yeah, I could see that as a possibility too. Hold on one second. So Uranus rules Aquarius in that 3rd house. The sun rules Leo with the 9th. Excuse me. Yeah, I think you guys would be expanding your mind through a conversation you had, or an argument, something of that nature, something that was serious. And if it didn't happen externally, then I feel like internally you're realizing something. And there may be more... There just may be more confidence with whatever it is you didn't originally feel good about, is what I want to say, because something's changed. And again, this is going to connect with your 10th and your 7th house. So if you're seeing the right people during this time that you want to connect with for work or to create a business or something like this, oh, wait. You guys, oh, why am I thinking? I'm so sorry. I thought you had Taurus in the 7th house for a second. So this would connect with literally work. I'm sorry. So because you have Sun in Virgo in your 10th house and Uranus in retrograde in Taurus in your 6th house, not your 7th, yeah, this would be like being able to see clearly the people, again, that you do want to work with or collaborate with, or something that can help you gain freedom, either from a mindset, like freeing yourself from mental conflict you guys were creating by putting too much work on your plate or too much stress or overthinking something. I think also this can be talking about seeing a way to gain more money. I do see that as well. Excuse me. Sorry. All right. September 20th, Sun in Virgo in your 10th house is in opposition to Neptune in retrograde in Pisces in your 4th house. So, excuse me, seeing through something, seeing through the fog, seeing through the clouds. I think you guys will be able to see what it is you need to do when it comes to, like, I like to call this like seeing your own bullshit, because it's like you can't expect whatever this is you want. I don't know what it is, but while still being delusional, I want to say. Because when Neptune's in retrograde and it's in 29 degrees, there is something very, not only karmic, but very intuitive happening with you and spirit and guiding you with your dreams, but also intuition. It's like I would say that if you guys are feeling something intuitively, you're probably spot on. So it's like the sun, I think of being able to see during the light, when the light is on. And so it's like the light is on through the fog, through the clouds, whatever you want to phrase it. And you guys may see your own bullshit during this time when it comes to either 4th house matters, or in order to feel a certain way about yourself, in order like to be seen a certain way, this would need to change, because it's not. And that's where the intuition would be kicking in, like that this is a little bit of a delusional dream that you got going on in order to get it 10 out of 10. I hope that made sense. Anyway, so September 21st, Sun in Virgo in your 10th house is trining Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn in your 2nd house. So yeah, I think I like when the Sun and Pluto are talking to each other in a positive way, because this is talking about being able to transform something, change something with ease. It's like you're seeing something, and in order to get healthier or gain more confidence, just do something that'll maybe bring you happiness, or, you know, more energy. Something needs to literally change. And it's talking about what it is you value, or what it is maybe you own, or your money. Maybe like what power means to you, maybe changing at this time. Or an idea on how to or an idea when it comes to how to become more powerful, how to gain more power when it comes to your money, your wallet. I think of this as trying to keep money. Does that make sense? Because the 12th house is in Scorpio. Pluto rules Scorpio. And Mars is the original ruler of Scorpio. And it's in your 8th house, your internal world, where it technically, traditionally belongs, in a sense. Really belongs to the 1st house, but it's still the original ruler of Scorpio. My point is that with the 12th house, things go missing, things get misunderstood. It takes a while, and this isn't even part of everybody's path or journey in life, but to really be connected with something you never saw about yourself. So I almost wonder if, since you have the ruler, Pluto, in your 2nd house, talking about your money, your status, is there something that's getting lost here that maybe you guys will be connected with consciously now? There may be something you still haven't connected with, like maybe you're doing something with 2nd house matters. That's just like you're doing it unconsciously. You don't even realize it, or you don't realize why you do what it is you do when it comes to this topic. So yeah, I see this as something more deeply psychological for you guys as well. Excuse me. Sorry. I do feel like you guys would be intuitively connected to this, since the 12th house is a psychic placement. So, yeah. And I also see this when Pluto's in Capricorn. I also see like magic, like really it would be Neptune in the 2nd house, but I think with Pluto, because it's the ruler of Scorpio, and the 8th house talks about magic. I think taking action, an initiative based off of something, based off your emotions, like as long as you emotionally feel confident enough to do something, and it comes from like your heart, and you want to do, you want to make something happen with your money. Or maybe something spiritual. That could be the case too here. Is it material or spiritual that you're trying to transform and change? Yeah, I feel like this could be like a deep Platonian lesson, I feel like, for you guys when it comes to money and your mind. Okay. September 22nd, we have the sun entering Libra. So the sun is leaving your 11th house. Oh, wait, your 10th house. I'm sorry. And it's entering your 11th house. So once the sun enters Libra, your mind, well, let's just leave the mind out because Mercury didn't transfer there, go there yet. There will be an emphasis on relationships, okay? I think also there will be an emphasis on friendships for you guys, social networking, things of that nature. With Venus being in your 11th house, this is either talking about like being deeply like adored during this time from your group of people or on the internet, or if you guys are trying to social network and make things happen through signed contracts or just serious commitments. I see an exchange in money happening here with several people, more than one. Also with the sun being here, I feel like you would be popular, seen in the 11th house. So group of friends from the past, with the South Node being here. Yes, and then also with Juno being here, this is soulmate energy. I do feel like there would be an emphasis on relationships with friends, or relationships, but with people who feel like friends. Jupiter and Gemini. Venus in Libra on the same day is squaring Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn in your 2nd house. So yes, something indeed with resources for those of you that are sharing money with other people or investing, doing something that involves another and finances. I think something would be happening around this time frame. It could be like you want to do this, but the other person wants to do that with the money. Or let's say you borrowed money from a friend, or no, not borrowed money, but they fronted money for you and now you got to pay them back. but you thought it was $20, not $30. So there could be like this energy, this internal energy, or external, because it's a square, but there would be friction nonetheless when it comes to feeling like you don't have power and you're willing to get that power, whether it's through dominating dominating people, several people, or just somebody that's a friend or somebody you social network with. There's like power dynamics as well that go on with a Venus squaring Pluto. I do think this could be you trying to connect with other people for another job or another way to make money. Because I see this as affecting your 6th house, your daily routine, your work, your schedule, something like this. It could be your boss. That's what I think of as well. If you guys are asking for a raise, or you guys don't feel valued and appreciated, if you don't feel like there's harmony there already, like this is definitely that. This is like you feel you deserve something, and maybe you guys do, but then your boss is like, oh, by the way, I need you to stay 30 extra minutes, and like there's no OT, some type of BS like that. And it's really just to remind you that like they're your boss. You know, I could see that being a thing too. It's just more like gaining control, I feel like, over another. And obsessions as well. So this could be obsession with money and how to become more powerful with money, or how to, you know, gain more resources. And it's like you would feel conflicted on this day or blocked. Later that day, Venus then leaves Libra in your 11th house and is entering your 12th house in Scorpio. Why did I write sun? That was weird. Venus. So I think once Venus is in your 12th house, I think, honestly, I'm getting more difficulty with money here. Excuse me. Why? Because Pluto rules Scorpio. And again, the 12th house, things are not easily understood. Things go missing. There's just like misunderstandings, or like I just said, it's like, since Venus can be romance or money or just beautiful things, you may have issues with this during this time, because the ruler of Scorpio is in your 2nd house, questioning what it is you value. Do you value privacy? Do you value keeping people you're intimate with hidden? Do you value being private about your money? Are you not sharing this? Are you holding on to this? Because Scorpio energy holds on to things. So since Venus rules your 11th house and your 6th house, and the ruler of Scorpio is in your 2nd house, I do see this as something to do with like work and the money you make from work, and maybe spending it, maybe spending money in your relationship more so during this time. But I keep seeing like a conflict with money. And I think because Mars is in the 8th house where Scorpio traditionally belongs, there would be some type of, if there isn't really any issue with money, but it's more like you want more money, then I could see that playing out too. Where it's really, again, there's like inner conflict based off of your feelings, what you feel you should have, what you want based off of how you feel. Trying to think what else. I think for some of you, with Jupiter being Gemini in the 7th house, I almost wonder when Venus enters Scorpio in your 12th house, and where's Mercury? In Virgo, you may be seeing things that you believe are wrong with the people that you're connected to, either intimately or the people you do business with. And it's like if you're having difficulty through the spiritual tests of like balancing yourself out, going within, not reacting based on how you feel, understanding the bigger picture that everybody is flawed and you can't have perfection. If you guys are having difficulty with that, then I think something may go, like maybe somebody you guys are dating, or you just may not see them in the same way, and you're like questioning this now. I think that's also another thing. Yeah. You may be spending money on things that are like occult related, or, you know, magic, spiritual things as well. Because with Venus ruling that 6th house and this being the house of healing, you may be spending money on something that feels, you could be spending money on therapy, honestly. Something that would help heal you guys is also what I get. Like, help heal the conflict. What the hell, Oceana? September 24th, Mercury in Virgo in your 10th house is trining Uranus in retrograde in Taurus in your 6th. So I see this as a blessing, something good happening when it comes to your resources. Like having a conversation based off of work. I'm saying a conversation because Uranus rules Aquarius and this is in your 3rd house. Mercury, I'm saying as well because Mercury is about your communication and your thoughts. And you have it in the 10th house and it's in Virgo nonetheless. So this is definitely like a thought about work or conversations about work. And it could connect back to your money because Taurus, money, it's connected to that 2nd house and having to work for your money, okay? But a trine is a blessing. So maybe for those of you who have been wanting to have a conversation about money at work, it's like maybe your boss ends up doing this randomly, out of nowhere, unexpectedly. It's like, oh, you feel good about this. Or it could be a conversation about something positive happening for you at work. Let's see. Mercury rules 7th house. Yeah, this could be a change with your everyday routine based off of maybe something new happening at work for you that would be positive. Yeah. Okay, so what else do we have here? I also see this as clear downloads, clear messages, clear intuition from spirit. September 25th, Mercury in Virgo in your 10th house is in opposition to Neptune in retrograde in Pisces in the 4th house. So when Mercury and Neptune are opposing each other, again, I think this is very similar to before. There is a reality check happening here. Mercury in Virgo, this is trying to fix what they believe needs to be fixed. So this is what you're going to be feeling. But it's trying to make something perfect. It's trying to make something flawless, but this doesn't exist, right? So it's like there is some type of dream, or, you know, when I say that, I just mean like you're daydreaming about something, or you want something to happen when it comes to your house, your 4th house, energy. So I think also, so like your mind would be more practical when it comes to making something a reality for you guys. Like, okay, you know what? I can't afford this, but I can afford this, which looks just like, you know, whatever this product was. And, you know, it's not the brand I wanted, but it will have to do. This way, it's like you're seeing the bigger picture. You're still getting what it is you want, but it just may not have been exactly the way you wanted it. So, and it's like having to get real because maybe the money isn't there. How else can this manifest for you guys? Something about traveling back to home, I want to say, from work. For anyone that was traveling, like maybe out of the country, that could definitely be something. Yeah, I see that. What else? Mercury in opposition to Neptune. Seeing something more clearly about, you know, something regarding the 4th house. I see that as well. And I do see this as connected back to relationships because Jupiter is the original ruler of Pisces and it's currently in your 7th house and Mercury rules Gemini. So yeah, I think you guys would be maybe compromising on the dream of what you have about another, like the illusions, like, and what is realistic, and, you know, do you have a good thing here, even though it's not exactly what it is you wanted. Later that day, Mercury in Virgo is trining Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn. So you have Mercury and Pluto, and they're talking to each other in a good way. And it's the 10th house and the second house talking to each other. This is definitely something transforming when it comes to either what you value in the workplace, or changing what it is, like how you want to make your money. It's a mind shift is what I want to say. Like, you are changing something with ease when it comes to your idea on what it is you thought you wanted when it comes to work. I see this as not striving for perfection, but realizing in order to, you know, accomplish the goal you guys have, this requires you, again, like, through all those other previous transits in September that we went over, like, you'd have to let something go. That's how I see this. Hold on one second. So Pluto rules Scorpio in your 12th house, and Saturn is ruler Capricorn, the 4th house. Definitely transforming your mind, changing it. And then Mercury's in Virgo, and you guys have Uranus retrograde in that 6th house with your money. So yeah, how do you guys earn money? And do you feel the same way about it? Like, would you rather change your job? I think that's also something I'm picking up on here. I think you guys want to change how you make your money. Okay. And I think also for some of you, this will be talking about that Mercury opposing Pluto. Being kinder to yourself when it comes to mental conflict that you may have about how you're seen. September 26th, Mercury enters Libra in your 11th house. So your mind, your thoughts will be on harmony, on compromising, balancing, getting along with other people. It'll be on relationships, talking about relationships. That's another way I see this. I see this as also talking to your group of people, like social networking. And being popular, definitely being popular with your group of friends or on the internet. You will definitely be seen one way or another. So I'm trying to think what else. Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. So I see this as your 10th and your 7th house. So yes, relationships, 7th house, and then also social networking for your 10th. And then Venus, the ruler of Libras, in your 12th. I think you guys are trying to put yourselves out there, like, hold on, let this plane finish. Hold on, I'm sorry, so sorry. So, where was I? So since Venus rules Libra, I do think that this transit, where is it again? Hold on. Mercury enters Libra. Am I still talking about that? Mercury enters Libra? Hold on one second. That's where I was going with this. Yeah, that makes sense. I remember now. So Mercury enters Libra. I think your thoughts will be on having a deep relationship, gaining money in a deep way that is like in a deep way, in a way that feels deeply connected to you. Because when I think of Venus and Scorpio, I think of the energy of wanting to merge with another person. So I feel like this may be the case for you guys with how you make your money. You may want to make your money doing something you're passionate about, something you feel deeply for, or you guys are just talking about somebody you feel deeply for. This could also be talking about the past now that I see it. because when I think of Venus and Scorpio, I also think of Five of Cups energy in Tarot, which talks about somebody from the past. And since the South Node is in Libra, in your 11th house, and I'm getting this friend vibe energy, I think that could be some of your stories as well, that you guys may be talking to people from the past. And I feel like these are friends or a friend you feel deeply about and value in some type of way. And it would connect back to home. Okay, September 29th, Mars in Cancer in your 8th house is trining Saturn in retrograde in Pisces in your 4th house. So Mars and Saturn are talking to each other in a positive way. And this is good because these are both malefic planets. So Mars can be looked at as the child, and Saturn can be looked at as the father, very similar to the sun opposing Saturn, except this one is trining. Mars is trining Saturn. You guys, like, taking action on something that requires work will come easily to you guys on this day. In order to make something happen, action is required, and you guys would be able to do that with ease. I think you guys would feel confident as well. I think your emotions would be well balanced around this time. I'm trying to think what else. Mars trining Saturn. Your 8th house and your 4th house. I'm so sorry. The 8th house and the 4th house. Internally feeling emotionally strong enough to either work on, like maybe there was a conflict or an argument at home, or like I said before, with the mother or with females or men that have strong, that are deeply emotional and sensitive. This would be the day to like fix something, or I should say work on something, because it would come really easily. It wouldn't take much work is what I'm picking up on. September 30th. And it would make you feel good because it's something connected to what it is you value. It's like you would feel powerful or like a leader, just good about yourself, or like you changed something, you transformed. Okay, September 30th, Sun in Libra in your 11th house is conjunct Mercury in Libra in your 11th house. So when the Sun and Mercury are talking to each other in a positive way, I think of... if you're feeling down, sad, negative, angry, when you have this type of transit, you're going to go back to getting yourself feeling confident and happy and positive. It's like you don't have a choice, right? So that's what the Sun is doing when it's talking in a positive way to Mercury, because Mercury is your thought, your communication system. And the Sun is happiness, it's confidence. So it's pretty much uplifting you, okay? I see this as a positive day or around this time frame to do something with your group of friends. You guys will probably feel really good if you do that. That's what I feel like is advised. Let's see what else. Sun rules Leo, 9th house. You guys may be traveling as well with your group of friends, or you may be traveling for, if not work, then I want to say people... like to do something, to do some type of commitment, like something you committed to with these people or person. I feel like that could be a thing as well. I just see this as a happy, confident energy. You guys could be feeling happy and confident in your relationships, or you may have an open conversation, a conversation that you feel very like confident in. Yeah, that's where I want to keep that. So let's go over these transits again. I want to make sure I went over everything with you guys. So your first house, Sagittarius, Pallas Athena will enter your first house at some point in September. There will be a strategy when it comes to literally you guys. This is the first house, the body, the self. So for how this is going to be playing out, it's either your body, how to make it look better, coming out with some type of workout regimen. This is also how Uranus in retrograde in Taurus could be affecting you guys, or it could be like how to free yourself from your mind, especially more so because Jupiter's in Gemini. So you may take some type of meditation or yoga, something spiritual, something that expands your mind but also makes you feel good. What else do I think this could be connected to? A strategy regarding work with like linking up with the right people, I want to say. Partnering up with the right people. Being at the right place at the right time, which I feel like is never a problem for you guys. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. All right, second house, Pluto will be going back into Capricorn in retrograde. So again, it is quote unquote finishing the job. What did you guys accomplish since 2008 and what did you not accomplish? There's something here where you guys are coming into your power. So I want to say since 2008, what has transformed and changed for you guys is your status. Your status when it comes to money and how you're seen. Also, what do you guys value when it comes to work? That's also changed. And yeah, the things you guys own for sure. But I feel like that's so general. Like since 2008, I hope things have like changed. Anyway, but since it's finishing the job and Saturn rules Capricorn, and it's in your 4th house, it's like we're going back now. Like I feel like another way to figure out what was supposed to be transforming and changing during this time when Pluto was in Capricorn, it's like what was Saturn hitting since 2008? So what the fuck? So sorry. So right now it's in your 4th house. That's where it's going to be finishing the job. So what do you need to work on when it comes to home? What do you need to so Pluto and Saturn are malefic planets, but they're deeply connected to past life karma. Did I already say that in the beginning of this reading? So what I'm picking up on is past life karma with your power when it comes to the home, and making something a reality, like literally manifesting your dreams when it comes to 4th house matters. That may be uncomfortable for you guys because it's like you want something at home to happen that's Pisces like. Can you go away? Ew. Sorry. But Capricorn, this energy that you guys value, it's like it feels uncomfortable with Pisces is what I want to say. It does, but it doesn't. The reason I say that is because it does get along. It sextiles the energy. It just requires doing something in order for it to get along with Pisces. So Pisces may be more spiritual, believing in something bigger than itself. That's why Sagittarius and Pisces are connected in that way. But also believing in the invisible. You know what I mean? Like, not invisible, believing in things that are not visible. No, I want to say that actually believing in the invisible, like literally. And with Capricorn energy, it wants it to be visible. You see the difference? But they link up, like I've been saying, because they can manifest something for you. And I think this is something you guys actually want to happen. And you may feel very powerful once you achieve this, if you feel like you haven't already. You may want to feel like a leader at home, like somebody who either contributes financially or I just see I see difficulty when Saturn's in the 4th house. It's dealing with a lot of karma, I feel like, with the family from past lives, but also your karma with money and what money means to you when it comes to the home. So I think something would be transforming and changing there. And it's like you can stand in your power once you realize this, if you haven't already. Aquarius, third house, you guys have pretty much nothing going on there. Fourth house, you got Saturn, Neptune in retrograde. And then later on, you got the full moon lunar eclipse. So something will be illuminated. You'll be able to see something, either something that needs to change or just something you need to let go. It will be visible, but it's going to be a change. With Saturn and Neptune both being in retrograde in the fourth house, I see this as rethinking the dream or rethinking what it is you need to be more realistic about in order to make it a reality. Fifth house, you got Aries, North Node, Chiron in retrograde. I think you guys are having some type of wounds when it comes to your confidence. If it's not that, then I would say some type of wound with standing out in front of people. Standing out when it comes to doing what it is you want, despite the fact that the group may not agree, or your relationships may not agree. But yeah, you guys would be feeling driven to either have a child or make some type of something happen that is creative. Yeah. Sixth house, Taurus, Uranus goes retrograde. I think something may happen during this time with your finances, or some type of disruption with work itself that either affects your money or it's just something that makes you feel, that disrupts the fixed energy, okay? Because Taurus is stubborn, it's fixed, it likes what it knows. I think you guys have already been experiencing changes with the things you guys know, even more so because Uranus is fucking up your daily regimen. Like, hold on, there's more. So holy shit. It's like, you know what, also I'm getting your throat chakra at work, because Aquarius rules your third house of communication, and you have Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, in your sixth house. So it's like you guys may be speaking up at work during this time, or if you've been speaking up at work, or if you've been learning something, because the third house is also learning. I feel like this would be a time to go within, where it's like you'd have to go within because you're no longer having access to spirit or downloads. It's like you're it's like when Saturn goes retrograde. Saturn's leaving the room, the father of time, the father of karma, to see how you're going to behave. So it's like, how are you guys going to do on your own when you're not getting intuitive hits or nudges from spirit that you guys may be consciously aware of or not? This is why there's that reflective energy, because you're required to think. So because you're doing this, there may be random conversations or random arguments that happen that disrupt your comfort level. I think the recommendation here is definitely to do some type of spiritual meditation or yoga, some type of spiritual practice during this time, for sure. Because also the point of Uranus regarding like past life karma is to sometimes cause some type of disruption. Or it could be the opposite. It could be like a positive energy. But when it's causing like a disruption, it's basically like so loud that it separates you from the people it's meant to separate you from. I think of it that way as well. It's some type of past life trauma. And obviously it's a transit, but it would connect on some type of wavelength for you guys with this. Speaking up against authority or becoming your own authority. 7th house, Gemini. You guys will have Mars and Jupiter here. Mars and Jupiter and Gemini are both very confident energies. So I feel like you would be confident with your thoughts or the things you're learning about the person you guys are in a serious committed relationship with, or people you are committed to when it comes to exchanging money, with money and goods, things of that nature, or signed contracts. You would be driven to act, to take initiative when it comes to 7th house things. So finding the right people at the right time, I think you guys would, that would be easy for you guys. Once Mars leaves your 7th house, I think you'll have a better time in relationships for sure. Mars then enters Cancer in your 8th house. This to me is inner turmoil with your emotions. It's a little bit of crybaby energy, and it's also dealing with people who have a problem with you behind your back. And you guys would be able to feel this. Your spidey senses would be kicking in with Mars in the 8th house. My advice to you guys, because this is definitely it's a malefic planet in your internal world, would be to not let your emotions get the best of you and to not hold on. 9th house, Mercury and Leo. You guys may be traveling. You guys may be learning about things from other cultures. You guys could be taking an online class, and the class could be out of state, out of the country. You could be taking a course right now from somebody who's very well known. You may be learning from somebody who's very well known, or if not well known, well liked. 10th house, Virgo. You guys will have Sun, Vesta, New Moon, and Mercury here. Your thoughts, your conversations will be based upon things that need to be re-looked at, fixed, and you're gonna have to realize at some point in September that not everything's perfect. You got to let some things go in order to see the bigger picture, in order to get something you actually want. With Vesta being in Virgo, I think you guys, this is the inner flame that just never dies out. I think you guys will be feeling passionate about either your status, how you appear to other people, or you'll be feeling passionate at work. You may be feeling passionate about doing something that makes you feel good, is what I want to say. Yeah. 11th house, Libra, Mercury, Sun, Venus, Juno, South Node is what you're going to be experiencing. So with the South Node being in the 11th house, you're being asked to not stay away completely from groups of people. It's just like groups of friends, the internet, social networking may be harder during this time. And it makes you feel like you need to stay away from these topics. It's not that, it's just more about balancing, making sure that you're not being stopped from acting on impulse, the things that make you feel happy and want to have fun and childlike and express yourselves. That's what you're being asked. You're being asked not to care about what other people think during this time. With Juno being in Libra, your thoughts will be on relationships for sure, especially once Mercury enters Libra. This will be soulmate energy. So I think of friendships. So for those of you that are dating, it's like you would want to date somebody who is like a friend to you guys. Shit, sorry. When Venus is in your 11th house, I see this as a popular energy, popular and loved by people, groups of people. So yeah, I see that happening. And I see with Mercury here, you guys being a diplomat, you guys willing to compromise, you guys willing to go 50-50 in order to create harmony and balance and fairness. With the Sun here in Libra, I think, yes, there will be an emphasis on relationships again, or just an emphasis on what is fair. 12th house, Scorpio. You guys will have had Pallas Athena, which talks about a strategy there in the very beginning of September. And then later on, you get Venus. So when Pallas Athena is in your 12th house, I think there's a strategy to, for some of you, it's going to definitely be traveling, I want to say. Traveling with friends. So if you don't have the money or the finances, it's like that would be the strategy. How do I gain this? Or it could be, the strategy could be about like traveling somewhere that you guys feel is going to change you guys, transform you guys, something that you feel deeply connected to, I want to say. Something that you would learn, like a place you would learn from as well. Yeah. And then once Venus enters your 12th house in Scorpio, this can manifest in one of many ways. It's either a secret relationship, I think either losing interest in somebody, or vice versa. I think of money kind of going missing, or you're spending money on 12th house things, Scorpio-like things. So spiritual stuff, maybe religious stuff, magical stuff, the occult, esoteric, things of that nature. I think of wanting to feel deeply connected to something bigger than yourself as well. That's also how I look at this energy. So you have Venus ruling Libra and Taurus. So this is your 11th and your 6th house. You guys may want to transform something about your mind and what it is you love, or your relationship with money. That's another thing I think of with Pluto ruling Scorpio and this being in retrograde and in your 2nd house. What is your relationship with money that either holds you back or needs to change? I just think of your emotions getting the best of you when it comes to money and what's driving you during this month. That's how I see this. Is there anything else I want to add to this? No. Nope, I'm going to leave it here. So let me know if these things end up happening, manifesting for you guys, because I would love to know. All right, bye guys.